Hello and welcome. In this video I will be showing you how to do your own custom skins and publish them and guide you through the entire process step by step. And at the end of this video you will be able to make your own skins, publish them, and yeah, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is go to the War Thunder asset viewer. It's in the CDK. It should be looking like this. You want to go to Roots, Game Res, scroll down until you find Tanks. Then you will select the nation in which your tank you want to skin is in. In this example we will make a skin for the SU-76, and therefore we will need the files. Here they are. You will need all the _c files, which are basically the texture files. Save them wherever you want, and you know where you can actually find them. That might take a moment. Alright, once that is done, you want to go ahead and open those up in a photo editing program. You can use Photoshop, Paint.net or GIMP. It doesn't really matter, all works. I would recommend Photoshop though, because it might be better. Alright, next thing you want to do is, once you've got those files opened, you want to invert the alpha. In Paint.net you will need some plugins for that. I'll link them in the description so you can do exactly what I'm doing. Then you can go ahead and upscale the picture to a 4K resolution, and okay, there we are, to a 4K resolution, and I'm sorry, shouldn't have hotkeyed the 2 button, okay. So next thing you want to do after you've done that, you can lay your base code. In this case it's going to be a German captured SU-76, so it is in dark yellow, and I've got myself a color palette here. Highly recommend that if you want to make more than one skin. It's very helpful. And so then create a new layer for all the markings and camouflage that we will be doing on this. But what I like to do is customize the alpha levels a bit, so the vehicle doesn't look so beat up, because realistically they weren't in that bad of a shape. Could look something like this, you can adjust it a bit. Do whatever you think looks best, because it is your skin after all, and you have to be happy with it. No, crap. Yeah, it's recommended to use the same exact editing of the alpha level on both, or sometimes all 3 files, just so it doesn't look out of shape or something. Alright, next thing you want to do is, in this case, add a camouflage. It is going to be a brown slash dark yellow camo. The way I like to go about it is select a brush, just draw some stuff on here. Doesn't have to look good for now, because we'll edit it, so it does look like it is on the reference pictures. That might take a moment. Alright, once you have done the basic camouflage, you can go ahead and add all the layers and invert the alpha. Then you want to go into your War Thunder game and click on this button here, which will allow you to create a template for a user skin, which will include the BLK file, which is important. Right, next thing you want to do is go ahead and look it up. It's this one here. You can go ahead and delete that one. Then next thing you want to do is in your photo editing software, save all those files in this exact folder that we just created, and preferably as a DDS file. You can also use TGA, but I don't know how the compression is on that one. DDS is sufficiently good. Go ahead and save those. That might take a moment, especially if you're recording a video. Yeah. Okay, once you've saved those files, you can go back into that folder and open the BLK file. You want to basically copy the name of those files and just paste them in here. It's important on the to section that you add the ending DDS or TGA, whatever file format you used, and on the upper string here you want to leave this star. That will, you know, be important. Then you want to do the exact same thing for the second file. In that case you can just basically copy the statement up there and edit it. Then you want to go ahead and save it and return back to War Thunder, where you will now see this file in your user skins, and you can see that we already have the correct color and the the camouflage, although it's not done yet. What you will notice is that on some areas, for example this box here, we could add some more camouflage to it. Looks a bit stale. Same thing goes for these sides, and maybe those boxes as well, and the rear fenders. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and do that now. So, and of course we will do the same thing to the gun. So go back into paint.net for this example. Redo the last step so you can edit the skin. So once that is done, you can see that, wait a second, yeah, you can go ahead and add more brown, shit, and make sure to paint on the right layer. That's a pretty nasty mistake, especially if you are basically done with editing your camouflage and then you realize that you have to redo everything because you screwed up. That's really frustrating, trust me. Okay, so now we will look for the texture of those boxes. That one looks like the one on the side, the longer one. Might be a radiator in there, I don't know. Could be an exhaust. And yeah, now for those boxes on the side, we just did this one. Now we are going for those. And yeah. Hmm. Okay, here they are, I guess. Just add a bit of brown to it. That's enough. Now, same thing with the gun, just on the mantle, well, cannon breech a bit. You won't have to paint up those bars. That would just take years and years just finding them. And for this tutorial I will not do that for time reasons. Alright, once we are back, we can go ahead and refresh the skin. This button does not refresh your skin, it's just to go ahead and look for other files in your user skins directory which have the SU76 BLK file in it. So you can just basically disable and re-enable the skin. That works most of the time, actually always. Now we see that these areas are a bit stale, there's not much on it, as well as here. I'll just quickly add something to that and come back. Yeah. Alright, once we've done that, you can actually go ahead and edit the camouflage so it looks better. For this particular one I will be using the smudge tool. It is yeah, well, it is a nice tool to use it for those kinds of camouflages. I always like to enable a bit of jitter and a bit more pressure, and then just go ahead and just smudge over a bit. And it looks like we have missed this plate, but other than that I think it looks pretty good, especially here where you have those faded areas and then a sharp edge to it. It looks okay. It could be looking a bit better honestly, but I am more than pleased with it, so I'm going to leave it like that. Right, moving on to the gun and doing the exact same thing. Okay, once we've done that, add all the layers up again, and you will find yourself doing those steps pretty often, since you have to check back, look how see how it looks, and adjusting the camouflage accordingly. Alright, once you've saved that, go back into the game and focus on the gun and the side of the turret, and you'll see it looks way better after we went ahead and gone over it again. The gun itself, here we had the example of doing not a particular linear pattern. Doesn't look too bad, but I wouldn't overdo it. And a lot of the times you want to check the seam down at the gun, where the textures connect both ends. Sometimes when you have a bit of overspray, you will have a abrupt stop at this point. On this one it isn't too bad. I wouldn't go ahead and fix it. It just, maybe you want to fix it because well, kind of looks bad on certain tanks, especially if you're doing a actual camouflage. You want to look and see that that lines up. Yeah, other things, otherwise I think we are done with the camo. No, there is, we left some spots. So next thing you want to do is go ahead and take a look at your reference pictures again and see what kinds of um, markings they were using. On this one, since it is a captured German tank, well, the captured Soviet tank was captured by the Germans, we will add some Balkenkreuzer, which is, you know, the German word for those crosses on the tanks. But this is a tank by the some SS division, so the markings will be a bit different. Oops. Let me just bring up my reference pictures. There we go. Alright. So what I go ahead and do now is go to my color palette, since I have it. Take some color of that, because this is the actual color that was used for those. Well, not in particular Lichtgrau, but it is pretty similar. So I'll just take a slightly lighter shade, go back, and since there are at least 5 or 6 crosses on the tank, I will do one in a bigger scale and downscale the rest. And yeah, the way this particular cross looks, just one bar, oops, like that, and then, alright, I've got an idea. What we, oh shit, crap. Alright, let's do like that. Here's a little trick for this particular camouflage. What we're going to do is go to objects. Once again, this is a plugin. I will link it down below, and yeah. So add a little bit of spacer. For this one I will use a different tool. I mean, it's the same, it does the exact same thing, it's just a different plugin, so we can get the exact same color. Do it like that. Now select those green bits like that and delete them. That leaves us with the exact cross. Oh, I'm not going to do that. So I will now go ahead and copy paste those. So now we want to add the tactical markings. Okay, and now the only missing part is the insignia of the SS Panzer Division Nordland. What you can do is just basically Google it. That's what I'm going to do. And it doesn't appear that there are good enough pictures, so I will just go ahead and replicate it. Like that. And oh yeah, you want to delete that one. And that should be it. Let's see how it looks. Once again, join all these layers and invert the alpha, save it. Okay, now I think this tank is looking rather good. I like the way it turned out. And there's a bit of warpage in the texture mapping here, but I guess nobody will see that. It's very minor. Yeah, I'll leave it just like that. And yeah, well, basically that is how I planned it to look. Does look pretty good, I guess. Yeah, well now, okay, I needed to refresh the texture. Yeah, so that was it. Now I am going to show you how to publish it, and what you want to do is to take screenshots. You can either take it in the hangar, but what I really like to do is go ahead and create a custom battle and look for a map that is representative of the place where this tank would actually have served. I'm not particularly sure where this one is from, since it... Wait a second, I'll just... yeah, there is no actually... Alright, there is no information given on this particular tank, but since it is on the eastern front, I'll go ahead and guess that it has served somewhere around Kursk. That would explain the camouflage. This whoops. Yeah, well, this dry, dark yellow, brownish camouflage. Just do some password. What I like to do is take 5 of them. 1 for the overall overview and 4 for details. And yeah, well, I see. I'll show you how I do that. Just simply, if you want to disable the overlay, you can push Alt and Y. That will disable it, and now you can take your screenshots. So once for the overview, ah, and well, I have to somehow figure out how to do the how. Yeah, well, that will work. Let's turn it a bit so the lighting is okay. That's also a point that you want to consider. Do this one. And yeah, don't mind the Soviet crew in this tank, because it is obviously a German tank. Run from behind, and the other side. Once we turn this thing. Alright, now you can leave the custom battle and open all those files and, you know, create a thumbnail thingy. Right, once you are here, you probably will have this one open. If not, open it back up. You can just go ahead back to War Thunder and screenshots. Scroll down and select all five. Whoops. Select all 5 of them and drag them into Paint.net. Open. So now we can, after we crap. Well, now we can actually do the thumbnail. Um, yeah, now what I like to do is in my skins directory, which I have created, make a subfolder called skins, where I will basically have all my zip files of my skins. Now you can rename this one to whichever you like, honestly, but I like to, you know, name it after the unit that this tank was used in. And yeah, now what I like to do is copy the name. In the skins directory I create a zip archive, name it just like the folder, move the folder into there. Okay, yep, delete that one. And yeah, well, now you can go on to your Life of War Thunder page, click on Add, Camouflage, Upload, well, let's just do images. So, upload the image, then the Camouflage, Skins, Soviet Union, SU-76, Skins, like that, and add some text. See how it goes. So, now you're going to click on Publish, and you are basically done. And now you have basically uploaded your first skin. Yeah, that's basically it. thanks for watching, I guess. And leave a comment with your live top wolf on that page, so I can actually see your skins, because I'm actually pretty interested in it, to see what you guys come up with. So yeah, that's it. Bye.